cry, sometimes you're gonna laugh. No, I was like literally climbing on the trees, and then
and then they brought you to Prada.
I had to finish high school at over than 20 years old. Like I was like 20 something, whatever. People actually capture it, and then like this is how you get the most beautiful image. Just 3 days ago, like the person at the casting asked me like, how old are you? I was like,
what do you want me to be?
do your research. Right?
Of course I was crying. Of course, like I mean, come on, like I was just turned 14 in June, and I'm in Paris, like trashing my clothes. If I wouldn't book a job, I even can cry now, like just even talking about this.
Remembering, yeah, the feelings.
But because it hurts.
Yeah.
My skill is me. Whatever I am, apparently it's an asset. What have I done wrong? That was my question.
Oh, guilt.
Self-doubt.
Well,
Seriously.
if you can do Paris, Milan without word of English
No, come on.
and a penny in your pocket, you girl can
come on.
write the book for next generation.
Best memories. I don't think I have any. Kill me, but I'm honest. Yes.
Fashion Host Podcast. Ines and I heard our audience, and today we are bringing you a model from your favorite 2000s.
The comment section has spoken and we listened.
You asked for her again and again, and today she is finally here.
Tanya Dyagileva, a true runway icon of the 2000s, who started her international career as a little bubbly girl at just 14.
She walked the biggest shows for the world's top designers and fronted campaigns for brands like Hugo Boss and Michael Kors.
Esquire even named her the sexiest woman from Belarus. Legendary.
But Tanya didn't stop at modeling. She went beyond the camera, studied fashion in Milan, and earned her BA in design.
Today we sit down and talk about her beginnings as she shares the lessons she learned from her modeling life.
Join us as we explore Tanya's incredible journey. Thank you so much for hosting us at your place.
Welcome. Thank you so much for joining me, and thank you for having me. First of all, thanks to Vlada and our relationship together, because we started actually a long journey ahead of our universe, right then, back in 2005. So
you guys met in 2005?
Exactly.
Yes, literally.
Yeah.
But before we come to best backstage buddies era,
Yes.
can we talk about your beginnings?
Okay, yes,
So
sure.
how
Yes, indeed.
this career
At 11.
found you, or like it's meant to be, we know that, but
no,
how?
but it's like everybody always was saying like you're too this, you too that, but
Like to what?
like too tall, like for
When you were young.
Yeah, exactly. And then, but at the same time, there was always agencies like who were searching for, discovering a model, right?
Were you aware about those agencies who were...
I have never had an idea. Like I was literally kind of thrown into the world of fashion, which for me was absolutely kind of fabulous, because it was something that came naturally, like posing.
Did you dream about that when you were like younger than 11?
No, I was like literally climbing on the trees, and then
And then they brought you to Prada.
and then they imagine like you're a teenager, like that you don't have it even a life, and then you're traveling. Like imagine, like I'm from Belarus, from Vitebsk, like from literally of a country that it's even hard to get out, and to go to another country, it's hard to do a visa, all the papers, everything. Nowadays, still nothing changes, you know, like, and then I had to change my passport to Russian because, like, thank God I had a grandmother who lived in Russia. So, like, you know, managed somehow to get a Russian passport. So, and then I could travel, but I was 14. So, and that's when we met together.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
So tell me, at 11, who approached you? Who saw? How did it happen?
That was like actually funny enough. Like I was turning actually like 12. It was like
Crazy.
funny. I know. Like, well, the story is basically like so. I went with my friend who was like pretty much the same size as I am. Like, I mean, height as I am.
How tall are you?
185.
But at 11, you were.
I was like 176, 75, 175.
Yeah. Perfect height for a model already.
11 o'clock.
Yeah.
So basically, like, I literally went for my birthday. My mom, she gave me first time money to go get an ice cream with my friend. And first time I was like alone for myself, you know, like with my friend. So like the roller coasters or whatever, you know, like summertime.
In your
Because,
city.
like, I'm a Gemini, so like I'm a summertime girl. And in my city. And I went to this cafe like to get my ice cream with my friend, and there was a guy who actually like came with the crew and start to smile at me, like funny.
Older guy.
Like elder, yes. And then I was like, you know, just like imagine somebody's like literally like staring at you, like, and smiling and like
It's
staring and
creepy.
smiling. It's creepy,
It's
right?
creepy,
Yeah.
right?
Right? And then like I said like, okay. And her name was well, I don't know where she is now, but like her name was Alessa. And I said like, you know what? Chip chop, we go. Like I don't feel like comfortable. We go, because like he was not paying attention to her, because like we were blonde, but she had like a short cut, and I had my hair like whatever.
I remember that.
Very long and super blonde. Both of like we kind of like looked, but like she was like a little bit bigger than me, but like I was like tiny. And he was completely staring. So we ran out, the kind of like just left even like our like ice cream and everything. Like we went for a walk, and then the guy followed us, and then like so we went to the like as fast as possible to like the first like whatever place like where we can even grab a water, because like we were walking so fast, running so fast, you know, like just because like he was following us.
And
And
did he call you? Did he said anything, or she
no,
silently
it's just
followed
wait
you?
for it, wait for the story. So and when we thought that this guy is gone, like we don't see him, like we kind of don't even like realize like so we stopped for get some water, and we get some water, and then I have a tap on the shoulder, and then I'm turning around, and then I'm like it's like literally like, you know, like a scarce thing in your mind or whatsoever. The guy is saying hi, and I'm like turning, and I'm like, hello. Здравствуйте.
In English or in Russian?
No, in Russian, of course, like
okay,
but because like we speak in Russian in Belarus, but you know, like, and then he was like, oh, I have this model agency, blah blah, and so he started directly like gushing on me, and then I'm just like holding this water, and I'm just standing, I'm like, you know, like just
Trying to understand.
just like saying yeah, sure, yeah, bye, you know, like kind of thing. And he didn't even say a word for my friend, who was
Because he was mesmerized by you, I'm sure.
But like imagine like, but my friend also was like very pretty, you know, and then all attention was on me. So this is the day when I lost my friend.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
She said to me that and even like I was traveling, I was trying to reconnect with her, like, and then like I was giving her
Jealousy.
jealousy.
We spoke about that.
Jealousy.
That's why we looked at each other.
Yeah, like, but I tried,
But
and then,
it's not your fault.
Yeah.
But I
but,
understand, like,
this is what that's why the pinpoint I'm making, right? So, friendship. How is it important, and how things are like? If person is happy for you, this is your real friend.
Of course.
If the person is jealous, then there's something definitely wrong.
but what I wanted
But
to say, this was your first time to have this experience with a friend. We're going to talk about, but I just want to ask you, did it happen to you again throughout your career with the friends?
It happened a lot. And it doesn't mean to be, sometimes it comes unconditionally. Sometimes it comes because, like there's so much, this world is so much. And then what you don't know, what girls are dealing with behind the stage,
That's
it's
why
another story, right? So basically, that's what I'm saying. Like the guy was approaching me, and then the first thing it was like the girl, like my friend, she said like I'm gonna take bus or whatever, and go home.
And she left you there?
And then she just left me.
With that guy?
Yeah, like, and then I just
Wait a second. Did she heard what he said to you?
Yeah,
she was there, and she just picked up her stuff and she left.
She didn't have any stuff.
But I mean,
like, she just like, okay, I'm going. I'm like, wait, I'm going too. Like, then I'm shocked because like the guy is talking to me, and then I have no protection. Like, who is it? Like, and then he's like, okay, there's a theater. I'm doing my catwalks in there. Like, I'm teaching models like how to walk and whatever. Like, and blah 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 blah. And I just remember like that I was shocked because like nobody.
Because you had no idea about what he's talking about.
Exactly.
Right?
Like what is modeling?
Did he ask you how old were you?
Yeah, he did actually. He did. And I said like I just turned 12. Like I was like, yeah. Like because like I was 9 years old like when I went to modeling whatever.
School. Yeah. That's
something
school
whatever.
To learn how to walk and take. Yeah.
It was not even that.
Not even that.
Nothing like that. No, it was just a disaster. But he asked me how old I was, and then anyway, so she left, and then I went. Like I was like, thank you very much, and then I'm usually a very polite person, and I still am, and just kind of like, okay, I will contact you, and like he gave me a piece of paper, and then I just like hold it like in my hand, but like my hands were like so sweaty from the stress that this piece of paper, like it's literally melted in my hands.
Wow.
I mean, imagine how much 12 years old girl can be stressed, so that piece of paper can melt in the hand. But anyway, so I came home, and my mom, she came back from work, and she saw me, and I was crying, like literally in tears. Like I said, like, Mom, I don't know what's happened. Like, and she was like, baby, like it's your birthday. Like, and I told her that story, and she said, wait a minute, how the guy looks? I said like this and like that, like very tall, la 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 la, and then like she said like, okay, give me a second. She opens a book. Back in times, it was like, like you have to dial,
the phone book,
the phone, and you have the phone book, like you don't have like this. It's like, come on, 90s, like it's, and then she does like, I remember, from day that I remember her face, like she looked at me and she's like,
she knew.
Alexander. So, and then she does a number like, hi, oh my God, I haven't talked to you for a long time. Yes.
Who was that? Him. How did you know him?
it was a best friend of hers.
Oh.
And it's incredible because she was like almost like, you know, like crush of that guy back in times like that. It's just insane. And that's how I actually came to modeling, because like he was a reporter, like he was doing like videos and photos for Belarusian television. And then at the same time, he kind of like had an eye for models. And then like he was like, and teach them how to, I don't know how it's actually like rounds up in a one man mind, to be honest. Have no idea.
But if he was in show business,
basically like they were like, that's like how I end up like into his agency.
So they wait for you until you turn 14 and then...
No, they did not.
They did not.
Obviously not.
So you did some stuff in Belarus. You were working.
Well, I did like one commercial, which was like literally for my mom to save them time and money, you know, and it was like, you know,
so you were doing something there in Belarus until 14?
I did like one thing. So, and that was kind of it. But like then there was like agency that was scouting, you know, and then there was a Tigran.
He was a scout?
He scouted me in Belarus, and then IMG scouted me in Belarus with him. So like Jane Rose, I love her too. Like, I don't know. Anyway, so that's kind of like how I emerged, and then was my contract first with IMG.
Fashion Host Podcast.
And so your first foreign country was Italy?
My first foreign country was France. Less than 24 hours.
Just to say
pictures.
Hello to me.
Pictures. They trashed my luggage with clothes, like, and said like my mom, she saved so much money, like to put like jeans or like could be what anything like t-shirt, jeans, you know, like what can be useful, you know, like shoes.
But they didn't like anything,
and they just. So
but did they give you
you went through this, right?
Not exactly.
Yeah, but like they said no, and then they give me a budget of money, which means basically I have to pay afterwards, right? So because like,
but did they bring you to the store to buy you clothes, the one that will look good for them? Because obviously.
No, they give me.
They lend you a money.
But I mean,
they lend me money, and then I went to Zara, like back in the days, and then
by yourself.
No, I had a girl with me who spoke Russian, but she was like from Germany.
From the agency.
From the agency, same. And she went with me because like I didn't even understand. Can you imagine like coming from nothing, literally nothing, and then trying to survive? You have like my mom saved for months money for me to be able to travel and everything. Okay, agency paid for my ticket, fine. But you need to have some cash, right? To be able, like back in the days, like we're talking about 2005. We're not talking about 2024,
no cards,
right?
No
like
nothing.
There's nothing like this exists. And what
how was
you have,
your English?
0, I guess.
0?
I said yes and no.
Okay, so when you saw your clothes, precious clothes, going to the garbage, how did you feel? Did you understand?
Feel?
I know what I'm asking you. I need you to explain to audience. So what was in your head? Did you understand what they're doing?
First of all, I understood like that I came to another country. I have no language. I have no communication. I have no money. I have no skills. My skill is me. Whatever I am, apparently, it's an asset.
Were you aware of that at that particular
exactly.
moment?
This is exactly how I was thinking.
Oh, that's
So
mature.
Yeah, that's pretty.
well, but like how else? Like if somebody like throws your clothes and then says like this is a trash, and then you say, and you know how much money your mom, like how many hours your mom worked for that piece of clothes. One. How many of them? You know. So how much it hurts, it only you can feel.
Yeah, that's
no one
why
else can feel. But who cares? At the end of the day, who cares?
No,
Exactly.
yeah.
No one knows and no one cares because it's not for them to care and not for them to know. Because what you need to do is another story. So, and I was like, okay, okay, of course I was crying. Of course, like, I mean, come on, like I was just turned 14 in June and I'm in Paris, like trashing, my clothes is trashing, you know, it's like literally.
Well, now it's funny, but I mean,
now we can laugh about
it's not
it,
funny.
you know,
It's
but
like,
it's not like,
but because it's life, you know. And then I
so
thought
the person who took you to IMG, have you met that person in Belarus?
yes. That was my agent, Tigran, yes, who passed
So there
away
was
now.
a person at the agency at that moment that you knew.
No. It's like scout
a
agency.
different
They're sending you
stories.
to.
Yeah, but you came to Paris completely alone. That's what I'm asking.
Well, yes.
At 14.
Because and 14. And then you know, the thing is like your father need to sign a document for you to travel. And then you know what I did? I said, I want a new life, and I released my father from paying me because my mom and my father, like, they're separated, and I released my father by myself with my mom for paying me
The child
support.
Yeah.
So that he just signed a document so I can go.
You can go. Wow. So you are alone, 14 in Paris, no clothes, borrowed money. You're going to Zara?
And I'm going to Zara. And then basically blue jeans. I think I still have this Polaroid, actually, funny enough. Prada casting. And then blue jeans, white t-shirt. There was like, I really, it was for me, it was very expensive. It was like €3.45 or so. I still remember this. How crazy is that? The Snoopy Doo underwear.
Yeah,
how crazy. Like, I mean, I'm a child.
Yeah, of course.
Right?
Yeah.
And I don't know, like literally like but what can you do, you know, like they gave me 75 euros. They gave me 75 euros and pocket money. Yes.
For a week.
No, it was 70, but they gave me 75. And then like I had like all together with my mom's money, I had 110, like all of it, like together. And imagine to survive, but like what they told me, like basically I had to go. I did my photo shoot same day. They threw out my closet, get the new things, get the new stuff. Thank God I had high heels. Worked it out, and they say like tomorrow you're traveling to Milan, like first thing in the morning, and then you're crashing over in a modeling apartment, and
by yourself.
No, with all the models, because like
I mean, traveling from Paris to Milan by yourself, or someone went with you.
No, from Paris to Milan it was like agent, and it was like 4 or 5 models.
Okay, great.
Plus, so like it was like a group, pretty much a group, of girls, and then like to go just for the casting for Prada.
Yeah. 1 second. At 14, how did you know how to walk in high heels?
I don't know.
So you just
I
was born that way? Yeah.
How do you know how to throw the ball? How do you know how to drink water?
Well, but some
people can't.
Yeah, some girls spend hours learning how to walk on high
like
heels.
now I had a surgery on both of my legs, and like now I can actually say like, yes, I do need to learn back in times to return my walk. But back in the days, like for me, it was like, it was a gracious thing. Like for me, it was more of imagination.
Have you ever walked on high heels before the moment you came to Paris?
I was borrowing my grandmother's shoes, which was a mistake because like I had quite a few injuries back in the days for that. Yes.
But you tried.
So you arrived to Milan to casting.
To casting for Prada.
How was
Same
that?
As you.
Mine experience is
different. Yeah. Okay. But for me, it was like I arrived and with a pack of girls, and then basically it's only 2 made it happened. So 2 or 3.
You mean made it happen to the show or to the casting?
No, it was because one thing it was like the show and the casting, but I did the VIP situation, the exclusivity stuff, and then like you need to do the fittings.
Yeah.
Who was casting it before?
My God, at 14, imagine to do the looks, right? You were doing fittings
and looks for like the
for a
whole
week.
Weeks. 1.5 week.
At 14.
Who was casting it then?
Russell Marsh?
Okay.
Was it? Yeah, of course.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, like, he was, at the beginning, he was very nice and sweet. Like, I think, like, but to be honest, like, I don't know what happened to him at the middle, but Herbsy, don't know so much, but, like, he was a sweetheart when he wanted to be, to be honest. Really, like, he had a talent to cast. I cannot deny that. Nobody cannot deny that. And he really had a vision for, a specific model and specific look, and then like give a chance to see differently.
But Tanya, yes, I'm not denying that. I agree he had that. But I feel like anyone from the modeling industry would see you and know exactly, okay, she's the one. She has to be a model. Like, but the thing is, agency will bring in models like you to Russell because he was doing Prada, right? And Prada is the point where the launching point.
But that was a deal thing.
Yeah, of course.
Like that was like the I mean, come on, we're talking about 2005. Like I don't know like what happened before because like I was not there, so I cannot confirm or reconfirm or anything. Like because like the things are like the things. But as much as like as soon as I got out of the contract, of course I did like Dolce, Versace, like and everything.
So let's just explain. The contract restricted you from doing
anything, like any shows or any fittings, or that was 1.5 week.
During Milan Fashion Week, right? And then in Paris you were able. I remember that. Yeah, and then you went to Paris. I remember, and then you were doing shows there.
And then I did the shows, and then that's when I like also like Prada Miu Miu. Like that's when we, connected, and then also like that's also when we did like a Moschino. I cannot I would never forget any chance of my life. If you kill me or what, like how Vlada, yes, sorry, I'm gonna say this.
Okay.
Like she, because like I was like such an outsider. Like literally, I was a bumbly. Like
she was like jumping on everyone, like she's a kid. Yeah. Like she was playing with everyone, not speaking English, zero, like just speaking Russian to everyone.
That was very funny, but like it was not even that. Like I was trying to communicate, but like I couldn't. And then like I remember Vlada was actually the one who was like, "Okay, come here, girl," and it was Moschino Chip and Chic show
in Milan.
No, in Paris.
In Paris? Did it in Paris?
Moschino.
Okay.
And then you grabbed me. This is where we have actually even recorded backstage picture, like all of us, Snezhana, Sasha, Natasha, you, me, and all of us, like all together. Like, and then you're like, okay, I will introduce you to our crowd.
Oh,
Is
really?
it okay? Because before
You passed the test, now you're part of
it
the
was
crew.
our crowd, like, which means basically it was
Did you
like
get approval from the
Brazilians.
girls?
I guess so.
We will ask them. We will make sure that Vlada
You don't
did
remember
this
this?
properly.
Oh my God. I remember like yesterday, like it's just so funny. Because like for me it was like, oh my God, like there's community. You know, it was like,
So can we say officially that Vlada was your best backstage buddy?
oh my God.
'Cause we had that question at some point.
There's a lot of the pictures, like sometimes she wants to struggle me, sometimes she wants to just have fun, you know, like, I mean, we all came from such different backgrounds. We came from so many different,
different but similar.
Yes, but at the same time, we all eager to grow. This is what like actually made us together, like, you know, like that. Okay, fuck the, like, sorry for the word. Beep. What is happening? How do you feel? You know, this is what actually brought us, kind of in a way.
That was your safe spot. Were you aware how big it is to do exclusivity for Prada? Were you aware of what
I had no idea what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm. So when was the moment when you realized
that you're doing something
that you're
important?
doing something very big and like that your career, that you're becoming a successful model?
I just did my job.
So you did not have a point in your career when you realized, I'm very
I had not that point. No.
Like you never got it at some point? Like you're like, oh, I actually did well. So you never had that point, like when you saw yourself like on the cover of a magazine or you saw a billboard with you, like
I was
you were like, oh,
like,
that's
look,
serious.
I'm just there, you know, like, and then I would buy it with my pennies.
How much money you were paid for it? Did that make you realize that?
No, I was the first 14 years
okay, but when was, like, how old were you when you realized?
Come on.
How old were you when you realized? Were you like 16, 14? Maybe not that first season. Maybe
I think it was my mom who realized who I am.
Mom, okay.
Yeah, like it was more like my parents. Like they were like, Tanya, we have like you everywhere. And I'm like, and? It's like how silly it is, right? Like, so, and I'm just doing my job. Like I'm trying to earn money for my family.
So that was your main reason you were doing it?
Literally. Yeah.
To get some money to your family.
Yeah, exactly. And then like, okay, like, okay, if I can, but what I loved so much and I still love is to work with artists. Like it brings me like to reality of imagination is your creation. What you can be inspired or dream of is all in here and in here, right?
Do you remember who was your first person that you were inspired by? I mean, you were 14, like so young. Like, where was that point when you saw someone? I want to learn or be like that person.
I was not inspired by, funny enough.
No?
Never.
So when did you get that?
Like, I was always like the one that like, okay, you should do better. Whatever you are, do better. Like, that's why I would never be not on time. If I'm not on time, it means something wrong.
How did you deal with that? Because you had a huge demand, like everyone wanted you and you had to be always on time and travel and all of, like, how did you at such a young age, how did you find the strength?
But the thing is, like, when we're young, we're so flexible. That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's when we're elder, we start to complicate our minds with the thought. It's basically when you're so young, you're flexible. You can do so much. You can do anything and everything. When people telling you to do, because you think that it's right because you trust them.
Yeah.
The trust. what is the trust? Who do you trust, right? So when people put themselves in the position of a trust, like of a young person, like, it's okay, you're going to be taken care of. Like, I will take care of you. Nothing is going to happen. It's basically like a puppy dog, you know? So I would do any job and everything. Like, I would wake up anytime. Like, I would be like, you know, like, it doesn't matter, like, if my skin hurts, it doesn't hurt. Like, if my hair hurt or not hurt. Like, whatever I feel or I don't feel, I don't care because I have to work.
How did you deal with rejections?
Rejections, not easy.
Tell us a little bit more about that.
The thing is, like, what I do understand now, what I did not understand before, two different things.
Of course. But back then, like, how hard it is at that age to understand that?
What have I done wrong? That was the question.
Oh, guilt.
Self-doubts.
Yeah. Ooh.
Every single time. If I wouldn't book a job, I even can cry now, like, just even talking
Remembering,
about this.
the feelings.
But because it hurts.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
And truth hurts. And it's a good thing, actually. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. Let's change it to subject.
It's a good question. Like, let's pause it on it. You know, like, I mean, it's a great question. It's, you know, okay, fine. Okay, that's why I said like this. You know, the truth hurts, but sometimes you just don't know what truth is. You don't know what the casting director is searching for, and then you're trying to, like, fit into the shoes of, like, that do not even exist.
But that you understand now as an adult.
I only understand it now because I was casting, you know, myself, girls, for my show as a designer.
Yeah.
So it's a completely different story. I only understood when I actually went behind the scene, not when I'm in front of the scene, because, like, was the way for me to make money. So basically, like, you know, like, I was in one box, you know, and I saw the world like this, but slightly covered, like, let's say, you know. And then when you go in details, and then you kind of structure, like, understanding of what is actually happening and what is going on, you getting the knowledge of and respect for decisions that people make.
Yeah.
But at the young age, you have no idea.
That's maturity and experience.
Well, that exactly. So, like, that's why, you know, like, I think every single model who is out there or trying to be a model, you know, be yourself and never forget that what is here and here together is a tango. You know, you need two to tango, right? So, and whatever is out there, it's a challenge. Well, make this challenge, you know, challenge you in a good way, in a bad way. Sometimes you're going to cry, sometimes you're going to laugh, you know, and then sometimes it's going to be like the best day of your life. You never know.
But how would you, at the situation when you get that rejection, I guess you didn't have anyone who would be there by your side to talk to you, and that's what I'm saying, right? So how did you...
Who would you say so?
Right? There was no one to talk to.
Exactly. Best friend. Sorry. It's reality. It's reality. You know, like, you cannot say this to your mom because otherwise she's going to be worried.
Exactly.
Right? You cannot say it to anybody because, like, otherwise, or you cannot never say it to your agent because otherwise you're weak. Or whatsoever.
So you have to act strong,
like,
right?
Just because,
so you're putting your mom in front of yourself. You care about your family, not to worry them. So you have to bury everything inside, and you realize that if you
kind of bury everything inside, I think, like, I found a way to gash it out on the photo shoots.
Ooh.
This is when artistic mind comes into.
Okay, tell us.
So,
tell us the formula.
What I'm talking about. Okay, like, this is, like, you know, when everything actually comes to life. So literally, like, whatever thing, you know, you become someone for a second, but live it through it, you know, like, and then just throw it, like, and whatever, like, and then like people actually capture it, you know, and then like this is how you get the most beautiful image, and then like the most beautiful character too. So like, and it's kind of like it makes the sense, right?
Yeah.
So like it's, you're not capturing it within, but like you kind of basically gashing it through to your own reality that kind of captivates the minds of others through the picture.
So take your pain and bring it to the art, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, and then, but it needs to be like tete-a-tete with the photographer. Like you need to understand like what the photographer was, and then bring that pain, whatever you have inside, throughout, but in the what the team wants, how they want it structured, and then what? I even see your eyes
question
are shining. Oh my God, her eyes were shining.
The question is, what if you're feeling like, but the photo shoot and the team want you to be like the happy one? What if it's not the creative thing, but the more commercial, or like you have
well, I haven't faced that kind of phase.
Because I had a situation when I was, I had to shoot a very like Christmas theme,
or whatever,
a Christmas spirit with the presents and stuff when my best friend died.
I see.
And I couldn't say no, not to come to the shoot.
Right. So the thing how you deal with it is basically how every single shoot, like if even I'm in bad mood or anything, like, and like I had so many things with my family too, like, you know, happened, or like not with friends because I didn't had, not now I have, but didn't had many, was to basically what would they feel for me if I'll be there, you know?
Yeah.
So it's basically like I can smile for them. I think
that's what I did.
I can make myself shine.
Yeah.
Just to think how the bright others can be because I'm doing this. Because if you, for as your example, right? It's Christmas, right? How my friend who died would feel at Christmas. What my friend would want.
Yeah.
So you have to find a way and be mature, but also with a cold head at the
you have to be cold-headed. Like you have to be cold-headed first, and then you have to be warm-hearted. Because if you don't have a heart, you cannot sustain the business. Because it's just gonna literally swallow you, you know. And
Fashion Host Podcast.
Do you have any regrets, career-wise?
I do, actually. I do.
You would change some things?
To be fair, some things I would, and some things I wouldn't.
Can you share, or you'd rather?
Yeah, of course. Like, obviously, like, of course. For example, like, I wish I would stop earlier. Like, stopped fashion industry earlier.
You mean modeling?
Modeling, yes. To do a degree, and then, you know, and then continue to be like still at the flow, you know. Like if I like, instead of like waiting and then think less, do.
So I wanted to ask about your passion for photography. Did you discover that while shooting, or when you stopped?
My first camera, I was like 10 years old.
Oh, okay, so
like
before modeling.
Before modeling. I was like, it was my godfather who apparently died. Not that, you know, anyway. So he gave me like I never met him in my life, and it was the first time I met him. And he gave me the camera, like, I mean, like, it was like Codex, you know, like the one that like you just put the film in, and it was my first camera. So And I promised myself that as soon as I'm gonna get my first money, I'm gonna buy a camera.
Did you do it?
Of course.
So that was your first big.
That was the
investment.
first thing you bought after Prada fittings?
Well, of course, I got clothes. I had
Yeah.
to, like socks and underwear.
Of course, but I mean,
like for my family and things. But as soon as I got my salary,
Mhm.
that was the thing, the first thing I got.
And then you said that it took you a little bit too long to decide to study.
Yeah.
Then how did you finally make that decision to do that?
Because, the first question you need to ask yourself, like, what do you want? What do I want? Like, okay, well, I'm going to serve myself, right now. So what do I want? Not my agent, not someone else, not someone who's saying that what is better and what is wrong, what is right, whatever. What do I want? How do I feel? What is feel it, And I was like,
how old were you?
20, what was it, 2013, 2014? Yeah.
So you went to the university.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that transition from being a supermodel to being a student.
Amazing.
Amazing.
Honestly, amazing. And I would do it again and again and again.
And that was in 2014.
13.
So you moved to Milan, you studied
No, Paris.
So you started to study in Paris.
Paris. Yes. So
fashion photography.
Fashion design.
A design.
No,
person.
fashion image and style, fashion business and fashion design. Bachelor.
Okay, and how... So you couldn't decide where you want to go?
No, first I wanted to... But before even that, deciding if I could only even go to the university, you don't even know the story.
Why if?
I didn't even finish, I finished 9 grades.
Ah, okay.
9 grades, which means it's I left my country, I finished 9 grades with working
10 years non-stop.
But I finished 9 grades working in Paris, Milan, and whatever, and then I did my finishing of school by exams, and I was the top one on exams, just exams, not even being in the class ever, for 2 years.
So, and you still had doubts if you're going to be able to go to study?
I had to go back to study, which I finished American University, high school. I had to finish high school at over than 20 years old. I was 20 something, whatever, to finish high school.
Wow.
To get diploma, to apply for university.
To be able to even apply to university. Imagine.
How was that?
That felt like I can do it because I'm smart enough. I mean, come on. Jesus Christ. If you cannot do that, you cannot live your life.
Well,
Seriously.
if you can do Paris, Milan without word of English and a penny in your pocket, you girl can write the book for next generation.
No, but I had to learn high mathematics in US language, or physics and chemistry and everything, in different language, completely out of my sight.
Do I feel like you doubt yourself or people doubt you?
I think
because I don't see why wouldn't you be able to do that in a blink of an eye.
Well, it's for me so easy. But the thing is people greet you and meet you by the way you look. I am the way I am. If you don't like me, you don't like me. If you like me, you like me. If you want something from me, tell me to straight to my eyes. I like the communication and I like the smartness of people. And then sometimes, yes, you do need to play the game, especially when you first time meet people. You need to kind of show yourself, but do not. It's kind of It's psychological more, basically, right? It's how you dress, how you present yourself, how you do your gestures. I'm like, for example, like me, I'm like this, you know, like if we like I'm talking usually like I'm always doing gestures because like I'm Gemini. Take it or leave it, like I'm gonna be like the one who's actually express itself with a gesture. So like it's kind of me. But at the same time I'm also insecure. You know, at the same time I'm also like that little girl like who'd be traumatized, you know, anytime. As all we are, you know, like all of us, we have that little baby inside of us that can be traumatized by even one word.
That's true.
So,
Fashion Host Podcast.
So you studied and you've been behind the camera now. You did your fashion show. You did design some clothes.
Yes.
How's that?
It's amazing. It's fascinating, and then it's something that gives me a life. My iPad is always with me. You know, I'm constantly drawing. I'm constantly designing. I'm constantly, you know, thinking aloud as much as I can. Because like this is, if you have your hands, you know, if you have your mind, if you have your heart, and then everything is aligned, you can just do it.
What is the difference between creating in front of camera and creating behind the camera? So now you experience.
That's a good question. Because like in front of a camera, like you're aware that somebody's gonna watch it.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? So like, for example, you know, like if I would not be aware that somebody's watching, like I don't care how I see it or how I pose or what I wear or not what I wear, like or how my hair are or not. Right? When you're aware when something is happening, you're posing, like you're doing things, you actually trying to
I'm trying to find
like
a pose now, but
right? But so, and what if like you imagine like you're drawing and then like you know that somebody's actually recording you. You're not gonna draw the same thing when you're actually free.
Yeah.
That like nobody's watching, and then you have your music inside of your ears or like whatever, like you're listening or like you can hear the music from your window or something, you know, like it's completely different atmosphere. So atmosphere is actually what makes you dream and makes you like make so much more happen. So, and you can create your own atmosphere being in any place, in any space, and which is amazing.
And how do you, when you're behind the camera, do you think your experience of being a model also helps you as a photographer now?
Actually, doesn't.
Doesn't?
Like, funny enough, because you look at things in a different perspective. Because like when you're behind the camera, like you want your setting, you know what you actually trying to achieve. Trying, right? Or like if you achieve more than that, it's even better, right? So you have a story to tell throughout your camera. So being in front of a camera is a different thing. You're trying to communicate with a photographer to achieve the more as you can that photographer wants, that the team wants, you know, like that like what is the idea and what is the goal. Most of the models, they don't even care about, or they don't even know what they're doing on the most of the photo shoots.
Like but sometimes even photographers don't know what they're doing, and they're expecting you to solve that issue.
That too, but this is like when they call for the professional model to actually come and then solve the problem.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. So, but this is what calls professionalism, because the model would do the research, the model would do actually understand like what the brand needs and then how to do and what to not do.
Did you always do your research when you were modeling?
I always ask questions. You know, I was like the crazy one. So if I don't understand something, I ask a question. Like if I don't know how to call the table, I'm gonna ask, what is this?
Mm-hmm.
That was
of course, yeah.
That was my key element. You know, like what is that?
Yeah, I remember my acting teacher said, whenever someone said, "Can I ask a stupid question?" he said, "There is no stupid questions. There are only stupid people who doesn't ask questions."
Exactly. Thank you so much to your teacher. Yeah. Literally. So that's how I actually dealt with my life, because otherwise I wouldn't understand what is going on. I remember like we had a photo shoot together, like we were in the van. Was it London? I don't remember. I think it was London. We were together in a van, and then it was like what was his name? Photographer. Sorry, I cannot remember. No. It was like the Polaroid thing.
Oh yeah, I remember now.
Do you remember?
Yeah. Paris.
Then, like,
it was in Paris,
oh
outside of
Paris.
Paris.
It was Paris? Oh my God.
It's cold.
It was cold. It was freezing. She was
Most
like
of the time,
shivering.
are you super hot or are you super cold?
Yeah.
And
No, I mean like...
the cold
seriously.
shootings you remember.
No, I remember being with Vlada at that time, and then I remember staring at her eyes and saying like everything is gonna be okay, and I was like completely like shivering.
Yeah, we were like hugging each other,
Yeah,
trying
like
to
we
warm
were
up.
like hugging
each
like
other,
just to
yeah.
warm up, and then we had like the bathrobe or something,
Yeah.
like so silly, stupid. But and then we had no food, not even water. We hadn't drink a water for the whole day, and then we had to photo shoot and then and then it was like in a freaking village or something.
Yeah,
I don't remember. Like it was like so insane, and then we just like saving each other. Like I would not forget that day too.
Is there any what was your best memories about any photo shoot that you had? Something.
Best memories. I don't think I have any. I mean, like, kill me, but I'm honest. Yes. But because like there was always some kind of issue. I mean,
Do you think the shoots are different, harder to do in Europe than in US?
in US it was much easier.
That's what
So
that's
much
my experience as well. That's
like so much easier. In Europe, it was.
Why do you think?
I mean, like,
why do you think
like,
it was? Why do you think it was that way?
I think because there's a US and the jam of happening, right? It's kind of its own soup. Sorry to say so, but like, right? And then there's a UK, there's Italy and France, and then each episode is different. So, and then with a different mindset. So, like now, for example, in Italy, it's much easier to shoot than in France.
So what do you think is the hardest market?
I mean, it was.
Wait. Like, we have to stop in there because, like, I never went to Asia market.
From your experience.
No, from your experience, England, US, France, Italy. Where was the hardest?
Okay, question-wise, money-wise,
sacrifice-wise.
Sacrifice which way?
Yeah, well, you just said that the shooting in the different places.
Yeah, but like this is what I'm saying. Like each market is different.
Yeah,
but which one is the hardest? Do you have the hardest market? No,
don't think so. Like
I think for me, London was always the hardest.
If you're a model, you have to be flexible.
It was hard everywhere.
Exactly. Darling, yes.
But for me, London was the hardest because I was not inspired by the money, because they pay the minimum of minimum, and
That's okay, yeah. But like the thing is, like, about London is like it needs to be in a different vibe. So if you're in London, you have to be like in a kind of London vibe, So you have to be kind of like a little bit cheeky. So like, it's completely different. If you're in Milan. Serious vibe. Like, okay, here, now, ready to go. Are you ready? Okay, you're gonna squeeze into that pants and that shoes too.
And
what I
we
mean?
don't care.
Like, exactly. Oh my God.
The shoes were not your size?
Never. What are you talking about?
I'm not going to be the only one who complains a lot. That's why I'm asking these questions to hear.
Oh, by the way, like when I came to New York first time in my life, there was a show and it was like very grunge. It was amazing. And then you know what my agency told me? Like, I mean, I went to the fitting. Everything fits me. I was very tiny. Everything was perfect. And then the shoe size, I was 40 and then they give me 38.
Oof.
Ooh,
I mean, I'm 41 and a half now, like, because, like, okay, like, our feet and ears and nose is growing, you know? Like,
I can see that.
So, they give me 38, but it was, like, a small 38. So it was, like,
Narrow.
37, good 37, I would
Yeah.
say. So, and then, you know what they told me? If you're not going to fit into these shoes, it was boots. It was not even shoes. It was, like, full-on boots. You're not going to do the show. You're not going to get paid.
Like modern time Cinderella.
Pretty much. So if you're going to squeeze in, don't care, know how to, what to, because like the clothes fits you perfectly, you're going to do the show.
What did you do?
What do you think?
You did.
Did you squeeze? How?
You squeezed.
No.
She sacrificed.
No.
She did. She
That was my
tiptoed.
first season in New York. Yeah.
So you did it?
Of course.
You did that one?
Of course.
Do you remember which show that was?
Phi.
Wow.
Phi.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Remember?
So have you ever walked a show with your shoes fitting perfectly?
Oh, yes.
Yes?
Oh, yes. Oh,
Okay.
yes. Thank God. No, honestly, like, I mean, there've been many. I mean, Michael Kors, like, he really took care of his girls. Like, he's really good.
Yeah. I remember they had like a bunch of different sizes.
Do you remember, like, that?
always.
Like,
yeah.
I mean, damn. Like, I mean, he really takes care of his girls. Like, I mean, I respect that so much. Ralph Lauren,
Of course.
meh, with a squeezy, peasy, you know? Like, I mean, on and off, but you have to...
Two American designers. Let's see someone in Europe.
No, I'm talking
It's
about
not like
American.
I'm
Well, we
counting.
are in the US, so I'm talking about American designers. Who else? Tommy Hilfiger, like I had never issue. I mean, like I walked not that much, but you know, like I was okay. Like always, like was comfortable. So,
In Europe?
in Europe, where?
Anywhere. Pick one city, one designer.
Okay. Actually, Donatella, she always cares about the fit of her clothes. So Versace was no issue, never for the shoes. If you don't fit something, like they will find a way. Because like
that's
they
nice.
really care about the fitting of the clothes, and then they really care about like the attitude.
Yeah.
It's like this is Versace house. Like this is what we're talking about. You know, this is like what we do. You know, it's our life in the hand of yours.
Can you say
Because-
that was your favorite show to do?
Oh, one of yes.
Yeah.
But I mean, come on.
I mean, if they care about you like that, you would really enjoy it.
But come on, we were doing together. I mean, it's not I've been there alone.
Yeah.
We were doing it together all the time. Like every single show with me and Vlada, we were doing it together all the time.
Yeah, that was a deal, you know. If Tanya doesn't do, I don't do it. and
But
vice
you were
versa.
not in the same agency.
No, but it was like no,
It's a
we were
joke.
not in the same agency, but like we were always like.
No, I'm
you
just
know,
kidding because she says that was a deal. So people can think whatever. You know,
Okay.
it's just their
You're like
private
freaking
backstage
deal
deal.
breaker.
Yeah.
Yeah, like don't do that.
Zip collection.
The-
I zip your collection, your first collection.
The one that you
collection.
created.
I name it Zip Collection.
Unzip me and follow me. That
But
was
I
my
really
name.
like that. I think that was a great
Unzip me and
idea.
follow me because like every single piece from the top to the bottom was changeable.
That's what I
And-
really, really like.
But it's very fitted. So which means it's not for the public. Which means it's
not for the what?
public.
Public.
It's which means it's for the custom.
Custom.
And okay, there are like for example, like there's a jacket. You know, like everybody wanted it. Like oh my god, like I had so much requests and everything. I just COVID happened and I had my surgery and then like.
Will you go back to doing that? Will you redo it?
I have my samples. I'm happy with them, you know, to be honest. And I'm wearing them and I'm super happy about that. And it's very like couture. You know, it's super, just like attention to details is my thing. You know, like I'm a very precise person. And that collection was specifically kind of womanizer, you know, so like it's something that, you know, lifts you up. You put it on and you kind of like, you're not sitting like this, you're sitting like this. You know, and then you know actually
makes you regal,
like,
right?
You kind of it's like illegal clothes, pretty much, but very chic and such a beautiful fabrics. Like I always used like silks, you know, organza, you know, and like very, very, very nice fabrics. But like I want to concentrate now into recycling and like really to do difference in the world, because like I think it's so much to do and there's so much to achieve, and then there's so much like each person can actually do. So design wise, you know, pattern making and everything is like always makes me exciting, but one thing is like that is what can you wear that is actually makes you happy, right? And then you feel free. And then you feel like comfortable, and then being, you know, for example, my kimono, it makes me happy.
Fashion Host Podcast.
What would be your 3 must-do or not advice for someone who is dreaming about a career like yours?
Do and not do, right?
Yes.
Of the career that's
To be a model,
fashion,
probably.
like modeling. Okay. I would say, to be fair, to do your own research. Who do you want to be as a person? First of all, if you're young, if you a dreamer, who do you want to be as a character, as you know, and then look further, like look at the generations, do the research, do the studies of like every single designer, because this is something that is, if you want to be a model, you want to know, like, for example, yesterday, I'm just giving an example, right? Like to understand like what I'm talking about. I went for a dinner. The people sent me outfit to wear, right? So before I went for a dinner and before I even accessed like to the I accessed the information of like whatever is online, obviously, about the history of the brand, how they do, what they do, how they think, so literally everything. And then when you come to dinner and then you meet a designer, you know the name of the designer, you know the person who you're talking to, you know who's PR, you know who's everybody, and then everybody
do your
respects
research,
you.
right?
So basically, like if you want to be a successful model, not just a model, okay, there's so many just models. Come on, I mean, if you want to be a smart one, do your education. Study every single designer and every single stylist, makeup artist, whoever exists, or at least the base, you know, who's the most genius photographer. Like, I mean, come on, you can Google this, you know?
Yeah, now we have
be
access.
nerdy model.
Tanya, how was it for you in 2023 when you were invited to do Schiaparelli show? Because you had a long break before, right?
Yeah.
You haven't done a show like in a couple of years before that.
Like many years. Yeah.
So how was it for you?
It's just exciting, honestly. And to walk on the show is completely different than having a photo shoot.
So that's your comeback.
It was kind of like, it's not like I mean, I kind of left. Yes, okay. Well, it's officially come back. What does it mean these days? But the thing is, you know, working on the shows for me are so easy. Photo shoots are became much more complicated because you need to do not only photos, but you need to do also video. You know? That there's more complications. There are more things, you know, like you need to do extra job and then extra work for the same amount of money that you were like even less than you would being paid before than now. I know it's a shame to say, but we didn't have this structure before. Like when we started, like me and Vlada, when we were starting, like we had we didn't have a phone.
Yeah,
I started even before you. I started in 2000.
Well, 2000. Oh my God! Like God bless you.
I'm older.
Oh my God! But like this is amazing. You know, like so you have the experience. You know what we're talking about.
Yeah, I do know, but that's what I'm
Literally.
saying. But why I'm asking you is to present to the people that, you know, doing something and then disappearing, coming back, it's harder than starting from zero.
It is actually like, well, okay.
It
I
is
have to
hard.
say, it's, you know.
So that's
starting
what
from
I'm
zero
trying to
because, like, when
point.
people don't know you.
Yeah.
So you're a freshman,
Yeah.
Exactly.
right?
Exactly. It's much harder when you have.
Well, when you have a background, you already have, you build your name, you already have, like, okay, when you're going to come to the casting, then already, like, oh, okay.
How old are you?
old?
Where are you
Yeah,
from?
exactly. So
You
that's
know,
my
the funny
point.
enough, like, just 3 days ago, like, the person at the casting asked me, like, how old are you? I was like,
What do you want me to be?
do your research. Right?
That's a good one.
seriously. No, but like I didn't know what to say. I honestly
Does
had
it
no
matter
idea what to
nowadays?
say.
Yeah, it's.
Oh
I don't
my
know.
God, but
I don't know why
it's-
this
it's-
question is still relevant.
You know, because and then the person was like 20 or like 19 or something.
Yeah.
You know, and then like they just like coming from university or doing like their like stage, you know, like a stage.
Internship.
And then like
I walked the
seriously.
runway. You were like learning
When you were
how to
just
write.
born.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
there
basically.
you go.
Yeah, I
So,
started
like,
24 years ago.
But like, yeah, you see, like, well, I started 19 years. Well, it's gonna be 20 years like soon. But like, I started 19 years ago, right? You started
It's
same
20 now. 20 years.
20.
This year,
So like you were like a year before me, actually, or a season before me. Yeah. And you know, like this is what makes us us, because we went through that to now.
Exactly.
And
you've seen all these changes, and you're still
Obviously.
there.
Well, kind of, but it's my decision to be or not to
Thank
be,
God.
right?
We're happy that you decided to come back.
Well, it's the thing is like that is you cannot take the gut out of yourself. That's the thing, you know. It's kind of like
It's in your DNA now.
It's in your DNA.
Yeah,
like,
you will never
come
stop
on.
to be
You know, like you know, if I mean, my walk is my walk. It's not somebody else's. Your walk is your walk. It's not someone else's, right? You have this, you know, like, and then lean back. This is your thing, you know, like nobody can walk like as long back as you. Come on, I'm doing my hip thing, you know.
We will patent that.
Like no, but seriously, like no one can walk like as far as like Vlada does, you know. Like I was always like,
I don't know if I can do that anymore.
Yeah, you can.
No, but like it's amazing. Like I remember like when one of the most fun shows, talking about like the Sonia Raquel.
Oh yeah,
Remember?
that was a fun one. Yeah.
Oh my
Which one?
God,
Sonia Raquel.
In general.
Well, when she
in
was
general,
alive.
for
When
sure.
she was alive.
Yeah, I did 2 or 3.
Yeah, in general,
So,
it was
like,
always fun.
Yeah, it was always fun, and I remember we were dancing, and you know, like
Yeah, Tanya finally can dance around. And
it was like my energy burst.
Tanya, what would you say to your younger
Myself?
Yeah, when
Younger
you were like
self?
5 years old. Yeah.
5 years old.
Yeah.
Oh, I was in coma, like from 5.5 to 6. So
What do you mean in
What do you mean?
I was in coma. I had a meningitis, so I couldn't say anything. I don't know.
Oh.
I would say survive, girl.
Wow.
You can do it.
Be the survival.
We didn't know.
So that's all I can say.
Wow.
Maybe
Maybe
Tanya at 9, 10?
6.
6. I would say I would say don't worry to myself and everything is going to be okay. That's all I would say. Because like I kind of knew somehow like that everything's going to be fine. You know, like, yeah.
Okay, I think.
So the fun part.
No, not yet. Two more.
We have one more.
Okay, tell me more.
Can you please describe, imaginably, the rest of your life in 3 words?
3 words. Healthy, loved, and happy.
Amazing. We wish you all that.
Thank you so
but
much.
where do you see yourself in 10-15 years from now?
I would say business-wise, checkpoint. That fashion-wise, checkpoint. I want to have a kid. I want to have a family. I want to have a husband, and I want to have a multiversal destination in every single country.
Are you close
Literally.
to achieving that?
I'm working on it.
We wish you
We
all,
wish you,
Thank you so
all of
much.
that to come true.
Honestly,
Yes.
like it's like I think like it's the most amazing thing that you can do for yourself is be yourself.
Yeah.
And trust your gut, believe in yourself, think further, not too far but not too close, and always be present.
Yeah.
Be at the moment, at the place, at the right time and the space. And, you know, always thank for people who's next to you, because I'm thankful and grateful that I had Vlada next to me when I was back then. And then even we were kids, like we didn't even realize like what we had.
Yeah.
But I'm thankful and grateful. And it was my companion throughout funny and crazy times, and sometimes like she was ready to choke me, and sometimes she was ready to kick me, and sometimes
But that's
like
real
and sometimes she was ready
friendship.
to hug me at any moment.
That's
you know,
a
and
friendship.
this is like something that I cherish and nourish in my heart, and no one can take it out of me.
My
So,
best
man.
friend is Gemini. I totally understand Vlada. And she's
But you know what I mean?
Like that.
Like so, like you know, like be patient.
with
But at the
Geminis.
same- nah. No, but be patient in life. What I'm saying.
Yeah.
But at the same time, never forget where you came from, what your beliefs are, and who you are, and be yourself regardless of whoever tells you otherwise. Always think, what do I actually want? Not someone else, not anyone else, not your agent, not your best friend, not nobody, not your mom, not your father, not nobody. You. What do you feel at the moment, at the place and the space? That's the most precious thing.
That's a great advice for us and for our audience. But
Yeah.
fun part is it's time for the fun part.
Time for the game. So the rules of the game is
What is the game? Wait, I didn't know. No.
It's going to be a fun part. So we have a little game. We're going to ask you questions, this or that, and you have to pick quickly. Not
Okay.
thinking, not explaining, just...
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Okay. Iced coffee on a snowy day or hot coffee in a heat wave?
Iced coffee.
Bad haircut or bad dye job?
Haircut.
Safari or polar expedition?
Polar.
Swimming pool or ocean?
Ocean.
Photograph or to be photographed?
Photograph.
Scary movie or comedy?
Comedy.
Libraries or bookstores?
Bookstores.
Video calls or text messaging?
Video.
Digital art or traditional art?
Self-art.
Cheater.
Okay, swimsuits in cold weather or coats in hot weather?
Swimsuit.
Giraffe or parrot?
Giraffe.
Singing or dancing?
Dancing.
She's the dancer. You passed.
Okay.
Well, thank you,
You
Tanya.
proved one more time that you're a smart girl with pretty face.
Okay, dokie. I guess okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching.
Thanks.
Fashion Host Podcast.